All right, so what we're doing is we're getting you guys ready to do the back of your worksheet. So at this point, you should be done with your warm-up. How did you guys feel about the warm-up? Are you guys pretty good with it? Okay. We're comfortable with the front side of our worksheet. We're comfortable with the warm-up. The first set of problems where it's one term over one term, we can use the calculator to help us simplify those. And then the second set, when they're in factored form, when they've got all the parentheses, we're pretty good about if the parentheses are identical, we can just cancel them out. And then we just write the leftovers. Okay, now if you were to take your worksheet and flip it over, what's different about the back side of the worksheet? What do you guys notice about the back of the worksheet? The parentheses are gone, right? They're not in the factored form anymore. You guys notice that? So that means that what is different about the back side of the worksheet is we just have to do all the factoring ourselves, okay? So we're just going to practice some problems together, make sure that it makes sense, but it really is just adding one more step to the problems that you guys have already done. It's just going to be a little bit more time consuming, okay? So let's do a few examples together, and then you guys, for today, you'll just be finishing up the back side of that worksheet. Sound reasonable? That's all you got to do for today. That's going to be what your homework is for tonight, okay? Just to finish the back side of that worksheet. So our first example is going to be x squared minus 14x plus 45 divided by x squared minus 5x minus 36. So we're going to have a trinomial divided by a trinomial. So if you compare this to the worksheet that you're doing, this is going to be a lot like number 18, a lot like number 20, a lot like number 21. So I'm going to write those numbers off to the side, number 18, 20, 21. This example is going to be like all three of those problems that you're going to be doing after this. Okay, so we have trinomial over trinomial. So when we factor this, we're going to be looking for two numbers that multiply to 45 but add to negative 14. And we're going to be looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 36 and add to negative 5. So just in case you guys have forgotten, we're going to do the little calculator trick that helps us find numbers. So we're going to look for what multiplies to 45. So in the y equals screen, I type in 45 divided by x. So in the y equals screen, I type in 45 divided by x. And then do you guys remember what I do? Second graph, okay, and those are all my options. Now I need to find the pair that adds to negative 14, and these are all pairs of positives. So I need to go in the other direction because I need negatives. So the first negative pair adds up to negative 46. That's not negative 14. That's a decimal, so I'm going to ignore it. That adds up to negative 18, so we're getting closer. Do you know what it is? 9 and 5, perfect. So negative 5, negative 9. And it doesn't matter which order you do them. You could say negative 5, negative 9, or negative 9, negative 5. So that's what we're going to put on the top. Negative 5, negative 9, or negative 9, negative 5. It doesn't matter, okay? 36, so over here, we're going to do negative 36 divided by x, and it's very important you guys get the signs correct. If you did 36 divided by x, then you wouldn't be able to find the numbers. So negative 36 divided by x, we're going to hit second graph, and we're looking for the numbers that add up to negative 5. So here I can see these numbers add up to 35. These numbers add up to 16. Since my numbers are adding up to positives, I'm going to go the opposite way. So negative 4 and positive 9 would have added up to positive 5. So since the number's right, but it's the wrong sign, let's do the opposite. So positive 4 and negative 9 would have done what we want. So positive 4 and negative 9 gives you negative 5. So x plus 4 x minus 9. And then what do you guys notice? Yeah, the 9's cancel. X minus 9, x minus 9. And so what is our final answer? X minus 5 over x plus 4. Final answer. Perfect. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to do 6b plus 54 over b squared plus 15b plus 54. And this one is going to be really similar to problem number 15 and problem number 19. And that's it, 15 and 19. That's what this is similar to on your paper. Okay, so on the bottom, we're still doing a trinomial. So we're looking for what multiplies to 54 and adds to 15. So let's find those numbers. What multiplies to 54 and adds to 15? So 54 divided by x multiplies to 54, adds to 15. That adds to 55. That adds to 29. That adds to 21. Decimal, decimal. Anybody got it? What pair adds to 15? Six and 9. Brayden, go ahead and bring up your headphones. Earbuds. So on the bottom, we have b plus 6, b plus 9. And then the top only has 2 terms, which means we don't do the x. So how do we factor something that only has 2 terms? Anyone remember? How do we factor something that only has 2 terms? Starts with a G. 3 letters. Greatest common factor, GCF. Okay, so I'm going to do math over number 9. Between 6 and 54, what do they have in common? Any guesses? Yeah, what do they have in common? Well, I already did it. 6. They have a 6 in common. So let's take out the 6. And then what is left over? If you divide out the 6, what's left over? $54 divided by 6. But make sure you do the same variable that we did before, so b plus 9. Okay? And then what can cancel out? The b plus 9s can cancel out. Now, if this is a 6 and this is a 6, can those cancel out? They cannot, because they're not identical. This one is a b plus 6, and this one's only a 6. So they can't cancel out because they're not identical. So we have to leave the final answer as 6 over b plus 6. If it's not identical, it cannot cancel. Okay. Okay, let me find one more for us. Sorry, I'm looking for one that's similar to what's on your worksheet. I think this is okay. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, so for the next example, we'll do this one. 4n squared plus 18n over 10n squared plus 6n. And this is similar to number 16, 17, and 22. Okay. So the problem on the top has two terms, the problem on the bottom has two terms. So what type of factoring are we doing? Yeah, GCF. We're doing GCF on the top, we're doing GCF on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to type the math button. We're going to go over to the right and hit 9 and 4, 18. Any guesses about what those numbers have in common? What can we divide out of 4 that we can also divide out of 18? Anybody know? Nope, nobody knows. 2? Yeah, they're both even numbers, so we can take 2 out of both of them. And then between n squared and n, what can we take out? What? Between n squared and n, you can take out an n. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. If you had 2 n's and you took out 1, what's left over? Just one more. 18 divided by 2 is 9. And then we had an n, but we took it out. So we'll end the parenthesis there. And then for the next part, we'll say math, go over, press 9. And we need to see what's in common between a 10 and a 6. So between a 10 and a 6, we also have a 2 in common, so I'll take out a 2. And then between an n squared and an n, what can I take out? Between an n squared and an n, what can I take out? An n. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. We had 2 n's, but we took 1 out. So there's one more. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And we already took the n out, so we don't need an n on that part. Now, with the parentheses, can we cancel anything with the parentheses? No, because they're not identical, so the parentheses have to stay. What about the stuff in front of the parentheses? What about the GCFs? You can cancel those completely. 2n and 2n are identical, so those can go. So our final answer is just the parentheses, 2n plus 9 over 5n plus 3. Okay. So all you guys need to do now is work on the back side of that sheet from yesterday. You did 1 through 14 yesterday. You are doing 15 through 22 today. Now, I did not make an answer key for you, but I did start the paper and make some hints. And so I'm going to put the hints up on the board just in case you get stuck on any of the problems. Okay? So there will be hints up for you. Later on in the period, I will sit down and I will make the answer key out just in case you do get stuck. Okay? Sound good? Yes. Did you finish your warm-up? Yes? Okay. Will you show me your warm-up and then I'll write you a pass?